me. Sorry. Two-fisted microphone man. All right, I'm gonna separate the mics. All right, so let me get a chair so I don't fall off the stage. Still probably will. All right, so last time when we did Vampires in New Jersey and Con 2 at the QXT, I wanted to have a female writers panel, and I finally got one. So there are a lot of women writers and artists that are doing some brilliant creative work. They're indie, they're out there, and you guys need to buy their stuff because they're great stories. Ladies, can you introduce yourselves and talk about your works?
Absolutely, thank you, Alton. So hi everybody, my name is Lisa Hodorovich. I am a Jersey girl born and raised, and I am a horror suspense thriller author. My first two books are The Disappearance and He's Here. They are a series together. And then my latest book, Vampire from Hell, that just came out on Halloween, is a vampire romance novel.
Hi everybody, my name is Stella Jade for this purpose. That's my pen name. My real name is Stephanie, so I'm a romance fantasy author and also a publisher. And my books are The Air of Light and Shadows and A Bond of Blood, Stone, and Fire. And I'm also from the New Jersey area, which most people here probably are. Anyway, thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Mary Marcellino, and also a Jersey girl, and I write paranormal romance. And this is my latest book, Edgar Allan Poe Is Not My Father. I also have a trilogy, Aria's Story.
My name is Annie Zamparelli. My author name is A.H. Zamparelli, and I'm holding my very first book of 3 deadly shorts and a poem inspired by Alfred Hitchcock. I am also a Jersey girl, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Alton.
All right, Jersey in the house. So I'm pretty transparent. I usually ask similar questions. Who's reading? Tell us, how you're inspired and what got you into writing. I know some of your backstories, but let everybody know.
So actually, Mary Marcellino and I are sisters. And our mom got us started when we were kids. She would write a paragraph, she would start the story, and then she would pass it along to each of us to continue with that story. And it oftentimes turned out quite weird by the time we got near the end. But I was writing children's stories for a long time. And then when our mother suffered with cancer and eventually passed, my writing turned to horror and suspense, but in a good way, in a fun way. So that is how I came to write suspense and horror.
My writing also was because of the passing of our mom, and I was depressed, so I wanted to find my happy again. And I decided I was going to complete a novel. And I did. I wrote a trilogy within a few months, and just kept going.
Well, I've been publishing books since 2014 in different genres. So I've done mystery, suspense, I've done children's fiction under different pen names. And then I decided that my heart belonged to romance and fantasy. And so I started doing that, and I just published these last year, actually. So I published the first one in January and the second one in July. So I'm very excited about this journey.
So I just remember being a little girl and constantly telling stories when family was over, to the point where they would yell at me and tell me to shut up. But I took that and kind of, I guess, rolled with it. I've always loved telling stories. I've always loved writing. In my 5th grade yearbook, under my photo, it asked, favorite subjects, least favorite subjects, blah, blah, blah. And then future goal. And under future goal, I put author. I knew from a very young age that this is what I wanted to do. And I am now living my dream. And horror, the mystery, suspense, all that has, again, been part of me ever since I was little. I've loved watching horror movies ever since I was little, and thank you. And when it comes to vampires, Lost Boys started off for me, so, Ride the system. So yeah, that's pretty much my journey here.
As a creator, I always look at what I'm doing and I say, well, if I could see this as a movie or a musical or whatever, what would that be like? If you could pick one of your favorite stories, what would you like to see it as? Would you like to see it as a series of films like Harry Potter, which is also turned into a TV series, which is also a stage play? I always say that to people when they write. When you sit down, you should think, how many different ways could this be offered? Because I don't think the people that wrote Legally Blonde thought it was going to be a Broadway musical, but it is.
I don't know if mine would ever be a Broadway musical per se. You never know though. But I definitely, especially as I'm writing, I am seeing it as a movie. And I'm seeing, who the main male character is, who the main female character is. I'm seeing it played out like I am watching a movie. So, and with Disappearance in Peace here, I could see it as a TV series on like Netflix or something like that. But yeah, I definitely would love to see these as movies one day.
Well, Al, you know that my background is acting, so Al and I have been working together for many years. So I write for movies. So when I write my books, I write them as scenes for movies because that's how I see everything is in movies. So for me, it would be easy for me to see this translate to the screen. And particularly, I think that it's kind of like The Witcher. It would do really well, like as a Netflix, like The Witcher series. But it certainly would be great also as an HBO, just because it is very spicy. But it's more plot driven than relationships. But yeah, so I would say Netflix #1, Broadway musical. Probably not. That's where I think I draw the line for that, but all right.
I definitely could see my books as movies or series. Especially my latest, I definitely would picture that as a movie and would love to see it as a movie. Never Broadway play.
With my short stories, definitely I can see them in TV series, even as little shorts sometimes. I picture them quite that way. Yes, like Twilight Zone, you're right, thank you, Mary. My novella that I wrote, which is a detective story with a little bit of paranormal, buried secrets, I do see that could potentially be a movie. And whether or not any of these could be a Broadway play, I've seen some advertisements for some very odd Broadway plays, so perhaps, you never know.
I'm sure you ladies know that Netflix is building a multi-million-dollar studio in New Jersey. I think Paramount's building one too. So yeah, I'll post it. But there's a lot of things happening that will allow you to get stories out. There's a lot of independent filmmakers here too. So when I do these events, I like people to kind of know each other, meet people in the network, and then see what you can collaborate on. Because a lot of deals get done now based on you doing maybe a short film, and it gets the attention of somebody who's connected, and next thing you know, I'm watching all you guys want to do. So, lastly, I just want you to tell people where they can get your stuff, and if you have something new coming out, just
All of my books can be found on Amazon. So this is my baby, my very first book, 3 Deadly Shorts and a Poem. I also have The Darkness Within, which was inspired is my novella that Buried Secrets that I was talking about earlier. And I'm hoping next year to have at least 2, if not 3 more books out that are suspense and science fiction novels. Thank you.
My books can also be found on Amazon, also with these shows. Please stop by our table. Thank you.
You can find mine on Amazon as well. You can also find it on a lot of the other online retailers. Of course, you can come visit my table if you'd like. If you wanted to connect with me on social media, as usually Stella Jade either books or Stella Jade writes romance or Stella Jade author. But if you put Stella Jade and one of those things in, you will find me. And book 3 will be released next year in this series, and book 4 will probably be the following year after that. So that's it.
Yep, my books are on Amazon, Barnes & Noble online, bookshop.org. Wherever you can find books online, you can definitely find my books. And so Vampire from Hell again just came out. This is volume 1. So it is book 1 of the trilogy, just came out on Halloween. Book 2, I'm looking at, oh my God, what year? 2027, because that's when I turn the big 4-0. I can't believe I just said that. I'm hoping to put out book 4 for my 40th. And then book 3 will be right after that, but I'm loving this process, I'm loving every bit of it, so let the fun continue.
All right, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you, Al, we appreciate
Can we
it.
get a picture?
Yes, of course.